First part of the day, I'm gonna see if we can get the belt on that went and got exchanged. Slip our pulley back on here. Drop it on. That seems to fit pretty good. Oh yeah, that'll work. It's about an inch worth of tension it up. That'll work good. Need to keep this so we can get different belts, or one slightly smaller if necessary. Let's see if I can get the ignition switch working. Oh man, let's see what we got. There's the ignition switch. And there's the switch itself. For giggles, let's see what this thing has to say. Disconnect battery. This is how to get your old switch out, which we figured out yesterday, which was pretty fun. Well, and now we got the radiator back out to clearance things, but we're gonna try to beat some of this stuff down to move the radiator forward. Popped out to about right here, and basically we just gave ourselves a little bit more clearance to the bottom of the cups to try and slide the radiator forward as far as possible, so that way we can use our factory fan and factory spacer, because as it stood we needed to have about half of this spacer, and instead of going to town and looking for all of that, we just modified the car. Might have to make new ones.
Well, let the frame be your back support.
Yeah.
And then let the mount, the other side, be what it is.
Tie strap rubber to the things.
You know how many lip holes?
So I'm saying, but tie strap rubber to it so it'll have something to, so it won't sit on the frame. But anyway, we're gonna see if we can get this back in here. See if I can get you guys a little bit of a view as we set this thing in the car.
And he's using a brand new radiator for trial and error.
We ain't got no old ones yet.
Sure. Alright, other than the bottom now, you can deal with it. All right, he went and bought some stuff.
Went and got a much smaller fan spacer here. See if I can rotate it where you guys can get a look. Would have stuck out another 3/4 of an inch. So let's see what we
Hopefully that's enough. Still close, but it was close from the factory.
Was it that close though?
No, it wasn't quite that close, but that bottom down there looks like it's touching. You're gonna have to rework them brackets.
Fan. That fan's the biggest, widest fan on the front that we got.
I know, we just cut them,
The
rework
other
them,
fan
rework
is flat
them
on the
brackets.
front.
Oh,
Gets the top, this part of the blade away from the.
yeah.
And he's got them fans up there that's flat, fully flat on the front.
Well, you're gonna have to go one way or the other. All right, till we working it out.
All right, you guys, welcome back. So we got the radiator back out, and after a bunch of trips back and forth through town with a bunch of different fans and a bunch of different fittings, this is what we come up with. So we're going to put an electric fan on the front, trans cooler behind it, all bolted together in one big unit, and then we're going to put it together in the car. Catch you guys back up a little bit here. All right, got the radiator dropped in, transmission lines are looped together down there, hoses are hooked together, carburetor's laying down there, all that's tight. We're going to hook up the transmission lines and should be good to go to put the carburetor back on and test fire it. Well, there's our radiator sport.
Oh. All right, take your hammer and roll that edge. He done cut himself, but he's still in. That's the joys of doing it yourself instead of paying somebody. We rolling that edge down to try to keep them getting cut again. I know y'all missed all the ciphering, but it happens. He says it's temporary, but I kind of think it's permanent now.
That's a lie.
I think it's in there now.
Ain't going nowhere.
He got a trans cooler right there, an electric fan out here that ain't wired up.
Yep.
All right, he's got the radiator in and putting the carburetor back on, which he had me to take off for no reason. But anyway.
Well, this is supposed to just fall together.
Yeah. He is supposed to.
Get close. Put them real nice.
Well, if it wants so cold, it would have, but cold weather changes things. But he's worked hard all flipping day. He really has.
To go tear it up.
Well, I don't expect you to do all that, but it's possible.
It's a drag race. Anything happens.
Yeah. As long as you're out front when you tear it up.
Against what, a golf cart?
Yeah. Might be one day.
I'll see if I can race him. Buy him one with the biggest chrome wheels.
Yeah.
Y'all don't pay attention to this part.
Yeah, go and hook your lines up first, son. You got it. Thank you. Got that one and that other one hanging down there somewhere. That one. The only one. Then you can put the air filter on. I think you really ought to hook them up first.
Hey, that's where my other clamp went.
was on there, I thought.
I know, but that's where it went.
What do you mean?
The one you grabbed and gave me.
Well, now what we're gonna do?
I don't know.
We'll be back. Alright, he's got it back running. I don't know how, but he did. Gotta add a little transmission fluid because of that cooler we put on it, or he put on it. It has no fan other than an electric fan. We ain't wired it up yet. It's got a brand new aluminum radiator. It'll eventually get hot sitting still. He claimed he was gonna wire it to a toggle switch for the weekend. I disagree, but that's what he said.
Alright, welcome back. Another day has passed. And what we were trying to do is figure out why the car won't idle. Spray around the carburetor here. Yeah, I know. And you want me to wire the fan?
Alright, here you go. The damn thing's running so cool.
It won't run.
It won't run. And it's got a 180-degree thermostat in it. And we ain't even wired the fan up. But
It's on the bottom of the edge mark, but it's downhill. A lot. It's leaning this way.
bottom of the edge, you can take a half quart. Don't hold much. See, that's sitting here running real good right now. But when you go down the road with this aluminum radiator with a 2-inch core in it, and like you'd use in a race car or a drag car, we got a 6-cylinder. It sure enough the engine don't get hot enough, and it's got a thermostat in it. It really does. I watched him do it. We sprayed ether around the carburetor, so it ain't sucking air. Yeah, but if it was sucking air, that thing it'd fly wide open with that ether. That first shot was enough. If it was sucking air, that ether would have showed it. I don't recommend that for the
what do I do to fix it?
for just anybody, but that's a real good way to find a vacuum leak. Still don't recommend it for just anybody.
You know, pretty much everybody asks me, or has asked me at some point on some of these videos, why I like to pretty much end them off driving. And I'll tell you, on days like today, that's the goal. That is the goal. That's what we're attempting to do. That's what we worked for all day long. Is to be able to get in it and drive it home. So, I'm gonna get this thing back up the hill here and drop my other car keys off in that car. And then we're gonna head on down the road here.